Hello, this is Lucifera.
This is Entropy, back again. This is the second part of the video on why the Christians are Pharisees. To start with, we ended the last video talking about judgment. So I would like to start again with that. A lot of you out there are not Christian, and perhaps you believe that this doesn't apply. For those out there that are this way, I would suggest that you just look at this as a story, because whether you believe that the judge is the Christ, or you believe it's karma or the universe, there is a judge. And if you don't believe in judgment, and you don't believe that you're going to be judged, quite frankly, you're a fool. If you believe that the universe is just capricious and just a chaotic mess, and there is no order at all, then fine, then you won't be judged. That's what you believe is going to happen. Many of the Christians that I'm sure are subs will look at the fact that they believe that they won't be judged because they believe something. But yet, on and on and on in your Bible, it says the contrary. So let's start with the parable of the sheep and the goats. Alright, this is from Matthew chapter 25. This is verse 31 through 46. When the Son of Man shall come into his glory, and all the holy angels with him, then he shall sit upon the throne of his glory, and before him shall be gathered all nations, and he shall separate them one from the other, as a shepherd divides his sheep from the goats. And he shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left. Then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, Come, ye blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. For I was an hungered, and ye gave me meat. I was thirsty, and ye gave me drink. I was a stranger, and ye took me in. Naked, and ye clothed me. I was sick, and ye visited me. I was in prison, and ye came unto me. Then shall the righteous answer him, saying, Lord, when shall we see thee unhungered and fed thee, or thirsty and gave thee drink? When saw we thee a stranger and took thee in, or naked and clothed thee? Or when saw we thee sick or in prison and came unto thee? And the king shall answer unto them and say unto them, Verily I say unto you, inasmuch as I have done unto one of the least of these my brethren, you shall do it unto me.
Then shall he say also unto them on the left hand, Depart from me, ye cursed, into everlasting fire, prepared for the devil and his angels. For I was an hungered, and ye gave me no meat. I was thirsty, and ye gave me no drink. I was a stranger, and ye took me not in. Naked, and ye clothed me not. Sick, and in prison, and ye visited me not. Then shall they also answer him, saying, Lord, when saw we thee an hungered, or athirst, or a stranger, or naked, or sick, or in prison, and did not minister unto thee? Then shall he answer them, saying, Verily I say unto you, inasmuch as ye did it not to one of the least of these, ye did not to me. And these shall go away into everlasting punishment, but but the righteous into life eternal.
This part here, this part of the video is really directed more at Christians than anyone else. So if you don't particularly agree with the Bible and you want to just sort of ignore this part, that's fine. Of course, we want you to be willing to be open-minded enough to what we have to say out there, and if you're not interested in some of the things that we say, just disregard them, because we want to make this fit for wherever you are in your spiritual path, I guess you would put it. The point of this is to stress to Christians, you don't get it, Christians, simply by believing something. You are not saved just through grace. Yes, I know that there's tons and tons of verses that say that grace may abound, blah, blah, blah. A lot of those things written by Paul, someone who I don't care for, and someone who Lucy doesn't care for, but I'm not going to get into Paul right now. Some of the things I do agree with that he wrote, but a lot of this whole idea, this whole Christian construct that we are saved through grace, therefore we don't have to do anything, is just a big, fat lie that's being told to you by the church. And even the Bible doesn't support that. And that's really the purpose of us giving you these verses. Also, I wanted to give you this one. This is from Revelation 20:13. And the sea gave up the dead which were in it, and death and hell delivered up the dead which were in them, and they were judged, every man according to their works. Revelation, I always felt that Revelation was something that was sort of apart from the rest of the Bible. It was part of the Apocrypha at one time, and the Gnostics even look at Revelation as being a true revelation, a true book of prophecy. And later on, maybe even the next video, we will be discussing primarily the book of Revelation, but prophecy and end times sort of things. These things are real, okay? The Christians, as they do most things, have it wrong. So we are going to be discussing that at some later time. But you can see plainly in this verse, every one of them, according to their deeds, according to their works, they're judged according to their works. You are judged at one point or another by either karma or by Jesus Christ or by the universe. Otherwise, I would hate to be here. If you who believe that you're not going to be judged and you can do whatever you want, then you certainly believe in a very unjust world, in an unjust universe. And the only people that I can think who really believe that they can do whatever they want and never be judged would be atheists. Not that atheists are necessarily evil, but since they don't believe in anything, some atheists believe in karma. But anyway, this is primarily, of course, about the Pharisees. But we wanted to first point out that judgment is real. So when we're talking about the Pharisees and what they're doing is wrong, the modern day Christians, they're going to have to pay for their wrongs, and it's not going to be just forgotten simply because the Bible, because you believe that you can go out there and do whatever you want to other people, not ask them for forgiveness, and then go ask God for it. How can you say that you love God but hate your brother? That's a Bible verse. So, you are not going to get away with it. If this universe is just, and it is, you're not going to get away with it. You can scheme and manipulate all you want. You can come up with all kinds of different plans on how to get by in this world through corrupt means. But you won't get away with it. Not in the end. Not in the end. If you're sitting on your deathbed, you'll realize that. Hopefully some of you will come to grips with that long before. Let's talk about the Pharisees. And let's talk about how the Christ dealt with the Pharisees.
You know, there's one thing too. Every time we make, or sometimes when we make these videos, and we come down a little strong, or even confront the Christians, some people will say, "Why are you being hateful?" or "Why are you coming off so loud?" etc. But the Christ actually came down strong on the Pharisees and scribes, even called them names. Christ even went so far as to throw chairs and tables.
I've been condemned because I call people fools. Lucy, do you know why I call people fools?
Why?
Because they are fools. I don't call you a fool unless you are one. I don't just call people fools here and there and everywhere. I just call fools fools. So if I called you a fool, you know why I call you a fool? Because you are one. And I don't feel guilty at all for calling fools fools. And I don't care how old you are. I don't care if you're older than I am. I don't care if you think you're more experienced in the world than I am. If you're a fool, you're a fool. And here in this passage we're going to show you here, Christ oftentimes refers to people as fools. This is Matthew chapter 23.
But be not ye called Rabbi, for one is your Master, even Christ, and all ye are brethren. And call no man your Father upon the earth, for one is your Father, which is in heaven. Neither be ye called masters, for one is your Master, even Christ. But he that is greatest among you shall be your servant. And whosoever shall exalt himself shall be abased, and he that shall humble himself shall be exalted.
Any of you Christians understand that? Those of you who exalt yourself, those who say, "I'm a very smart man, Lucy." Exalt yourself, keep doing it, and you will be abased. What that means is you're going to be taken down a few pegs. Keep it up. But woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye shut up the kingdom of heaven against man, for ye neither go in yourselves, neither suffer ye that are entering it to go in. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For ye devour widows' houses, and for a pretense make long prayer, and therefore ye shall receive the greater damnation. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For ye compass sea and land to make one proselyte, and when he is made, ye make him twofold more the children of hell than yourselves. Woe unto you, ye blind guides, which say, Whosoever shall swear by the temple, it is nothing, but whosoever shall swear by the gold of the temple, he is a debtor. Now I purposely said that loud, because I'm getting into the part here. This would have been the way that Christ said it. It does have an exclamation point at the end. So those of you who want to tell us somehow that when we get angry, and when we get on people, certain people who I won't mention because I'm not going to feed his ego anymore, but you can see it in the previous one of these two. If I get angry, and I might even yell, get a little loud, so what? Are you going to tell me that that's not being Christ-like? Well, It is, actually, because the Christ was at a time not unlike the times we're living in today. And we will be discussing that in later, probably the next video, about the end times, so to speak, the end of this age, and the fact that the people in the end, according to the Bible, would be like in the days of Noah. And as bad as things were even in Christ's day, and as bad as those people were, wow, they're nothing compared to what we're getting today. The way you all curse at us, and then when we get back at you, you want to turn around and say, well, what you're doing isn't very good because you're yelling at us. Get over it. Because you want to hear a little bit of yelling on a YouTube video, or do you want to come before the Christ, who will one day say to you, "Depart from me, because I don't even know you"? So I think you could take a little bit of a tongue lashing from us compared to, the Christ.
A lot of you are expecting Christ to come back with happy joy and flowers and rainbows, but you believe that Christ is coming as a conquering king. It's not gonna just be happy joy. There is a judgment.
And a lot of you Christians who don't think that you're going to get it say, well, what did I do wrong? What did I do? Didn't I cast out demons in your name, etc., etc., etc.? That's directed. Those verses are directed at Christians. So we'll get into those verses in a later video. But those verses about how these people stand before the Christ and say, Didn't we cast out demons in your name? Didn't we do this? Didn't we do that? And then the Christ says, "Depart from me, ye evildoers, I do not know you."
You'll be quite surprised. Christ will come in a way you never expected.
Let me read a few more verses from this Matthew chapter 23. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For you may clean the outside of the cup and of the platter, but within they are full of extortion and excess. Thou blind Pharisee, clean first which is within the cup and platter, that the outside of them may be clean also. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For you are like unto the wilted scepters, which indeed appear behind beautiful outward, but are within full of dead man's bones, and all uncleanliness. Even so ye are also outwardly appear righteous unto men, but within ye are full of hypocrisy and iniquity. Boy, you're not going to hear much of these verses in church, are you? Not from a preacher who makes hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. You're not going to hear this.
We are doing this because it comes from our hearts.
Not because we want to fleece you, make money off of you, or try to aggrandize ourselves. If anything, by doing this is making us more enemies, not friends. Now, continuing. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! Because ye build the tombs of the prophets and garnish the scepters of the righteous, and say, If we had been in the days of our fathers, we would not have been partakers with them in the blood of the prophets. Wherefore ye be witness unto yourselves, that ye are the children of them which killed the prophets. Fill ye up then the measure of your fathers, ye serpents, ye generation of vipers. How can ye escape the damnation of hell? Does that sound enough to you folks like a hellfire preacher? But is the Christ standing in front of a group of people and then passing around a collection plate? after he says this? No, he's going against the very people who are standing in front of a group of people and passing around a collection plate afterwards. Ye serpents, ye generation of vipers, how can ye escape the damnation of hell? The Christians that we deal with on a daily basis, the ones that condemn us, can you honestly say that you are not these Pharisees of today? Oh no, you know in your gut what you've done. You know in your gut the way you feel. You know in your gut the horrible, horrible things that you do and say to others. And you know in your gut that you are a serpent, a viper, and you will not escape the damnation of your own hell, because you are going to drag yourself down there.
Your judgment is not in some far-off future, but it is now.
We could go on and on and on about this. You expect the Christ to come back in the clouds in this glory, and that you expect to be ascending into the heavens and being a part of that. But Christians, the Christ, whether it is an actual being, or if it's some kind of energy, or if it's just going to be karma, it's not coming. It's here. And you're going to be surprised, because it's here for you. And it's not coming to give you a pat on the back and tell you what a great job you're doing, because you're a bunch of hypocrites. You have the nerve to condemn my wife and I. The nerve. So remember, you're being tested. You're being tested. And most of you are failing the test over and over and over again.
We're going to be making another video soon, so we're going to wrap it up now. And this is Lucifera.
And this is Entropy. Look for a new video soon about the book of Revelation and the end of this age. Have a good evening, a good weekend. Bye.